The following video module provides strategies for securing private equity seed capital. Securing private equity seed capital can be a tiring and confusing process. To help make the process a little easier to navigate, I'm going to provide you some direct tips and strategies for obtaining seed capital. If you're an emerging manager or looking to start a private equity fund, this video will be really valuable to you. And the reason that I'm doing this is because today I received an email from a private equity fund that just started up, and they were hoping for me to consult with them on how to attract seed capital. And I basically ran through a few strategies that I would advise them with, and I'm going to share those with you today. First, have a deep and well-experienced team and advisory board. So let's write this in here. Deep and experienced team and advisory board. Alright, and the reason for this is that private equity seeders are looking to see that you have a wealth of experience guiding your decisions and your investing, because you probably have a relatively short track record, and the seeder does not have much else to go by. And the reason I included advisory board is that advisory boards often will be able to sort of vouch for you to investors, and that they see that you're getting advised by these various experienced people that might make up for your lack of experience, especially if they have deep experience in private equity and they're well known to these investors. That's the best type of advisory board you can build, but just make sure that your team's well experienced and that it'll show investors that you are prepared to take their money and to produce returns with it. Second, have a real track record that proves your strategy works. So track record. Although you may not have a strong, long track record, you should have some form of validation for your investment process. And even if it is only a few months, it will show that you and your management team know what you're doing and you're not going in blind. I understand that if you've just started up your fund, it may be difficult to demonstrate your track record. There are a few ways you can mitigate this. You can show your past investments and the way you've handled risk in the past, the way you have made investments, your operations, the way you've managed a team. Basically any experience that will show a private equity investor that you're ready to move up to the big leagues with a private equity fund and that you are qualified to be seeded. So track record is very important. Have a consistent investment process that you follow every day is the next one. And basically this will show investors that you can consistently provide returns and that you have the risk management in place to avoid large missteps. I recently heard a private equity investor noting how important it is to see that you have a strong, consistent investment process that is repeatable rather than a random investment strategy that may work on some investments but flops on the others. They don't want to see you just getting lucky once in a while. They want to know that you know what you're doing and that you have a consistent investment process that can be repeated. Number 4 would be have a massive focus on transparency and governance. So in today's post-Madoff, post-financial crisis era, it's impossible to understate how important transparency and governance is to private equity investors and seeders. They may have been even burned in the past by frauds or people that promise returns and can't deliver on that. They're looking to minimize risk, and if you find any way that you can assure them that you're a safe, low-risk investment manager with a strong, transparent strategy for producing returns, then you should invest in increasing your transparency and governance in those ways. Investors are looking to be reassured, and no private equity seeder will take a chance on you unless you can provide some form of reassurance and a high level of transparency. So that is definitely very important in trying to attract seed capital. And lastly, make sure you have your basic marketing materials in place and professionally developed. So marketing materials. And the reason I note this is because many private equity seeders will simply ignore you unless you can provide them with thorough information about your fund and how you operate. Without strong marketing materials, you could lose out on investors that you obviously need. And seed capital providers will definitely fail to evaluate your fund because they don't think you're serious, because you have not put in the time and effort to show how your fund will operate, how you intend to work with limited partners, the investments that you're considering or the area you're considering, and just the general information that is important to private equity seeders and investors that are evaluating your fund. And that concludes the strategies for securing seed capital. I hope that this video has provided you with some great strategies for securing private equity seed capital, and thanks for watching.